Good evening. Welcome to the May 12th edition of the Downers Grove Village Council meeting. We continue to do our part to help reduce the spread of COVID-19 by social distancing. As a result, most of the council team are operating remote this evening. Participating by conference call is Greg Jose, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners Marge, Earl, Nicole, Walus, Leslie Sadowski-Fugitt, Rich Kulovany, and Cavanaugh Gray, as well as Megan Miles, our village clerk. Tonight we're in the committee room here at Village Hall in an effort to keep the sound quality as high as possible for those listening and participating remote. With me this evening is David Fieldman, our village manager, Michael Baker, our deputy village manager, and Enza Petrarca, our village attorney. To provide for public input to this meeting, we solicited input prior to the meeting via email and via our village e-remarks system, and we'll do our best to get those comments into the record and to answer those questions as we go. We also make every effort to entertain questions or comments received during the meeting in the record, and at the end of the meeting where we've placed our public comments section. As is sometimes the case during regular meetings, we may have to get back to folks with additional information at a later date. As always, we'll begin our meeting this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Here.
Commissioner Earl?
Here.
Commissioner Walus? Here. Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Here. Commissioner Kulovany?
Here.
Commissioner Gray?
Here.
Mayor Burnett?
Here. Is there a motion to conduct this council meeting electronically?
Mayor, I move that the council conduct this meeting electronically.
Second.
The motion to conduct this meeting electronically is made by Commissioner Jose and seconded by Commissioner Earl. Are there any questions or comments from the council? Hearing none. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus?
Aye.
Mayor Burnett?
Aye. We are conducting this meeting electronically. Thank you all. Item 3 on tonight's agenda are a couple of public proclamations. Life does go on around us, and there's still a lot of good things happening and reasons to acknowledge the good work done by folks. So the first item tonight is a proclamation concerning Public Services Week. Whereas public work services provided in our community are an integral part of citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, storm sewers, streets, transportation, and public buildings. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services. And whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff the Public Works Department is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now, therefore, I, Robert T. Barnett, Mayor of the Village of Downers Grove, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through 23rd, 2020 as Public Works Week in Downers Grove, and call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contribution which public works personnel make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Dated this 12th day of May, 2020 in Downers Grove, Illinois. This month also would have been graduation month for many, and certainly it'll be one to remember. Many of our students, both students at all levels, colleges included, but certainly those locally, are struggling to figure out how to wrap up their year. So I've got a proclamation concerning graduation for our high school kids in Downers Grove. Whereas the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services declared that COVID-19 presents a public health emergency on January 27, 2020, and the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a public health emergency of international concern on January 30, 2020. And whereas the governor of Illinois declared all counties in the state of Illinois as a disaster area on March 9th in response to the outbreak of COVID-19. Whereas I, Robert T. Barnett, proclaimed a state of emergency in the village of Downers Grove on March 1st, 2020. And whereas for the preservation of public health and safety throughout the entire state of Illinois, social distancing, which consists of maintaining at least 6-foot distance between people, remains the paramount strategy for minimizing the spread of COVID-19 in our communities. And whereas under the governor's orders and as described by the governor's Restore Illinois plan, the village of Downers Grove remains at this time, and at least through the end of May, in Phase 2 requiring only essential gatherings of 10 or less. Whereas Consolidated High School District 99 serves hundreds of families in our community and has made heroic adjustments to continue to serve our students and families through the unforeseen circumstances created by the COVID-19 crisis. And whereas District 99 will be graduating 1,211 students this year. Whereas, but for the COVID-19 crisis and subsequent public health policies, District 99 graduations would have taken place on Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Now I, therefore, Robert T. Barnett, Mayor of Downers Grove, proclaim Friday, May 22nd, 2020, as Class of 2020 Day in the Village of Downers Grove, and encourage all parents, students, and residents of Downers Grove to celebrate the achievements of our community's seniors in accordance with the Restore Illinois Phase 2 guidelines regarding social distancing and gatherings, and to come together as a community while staying apart and give a 20-second cheer at hour 2020, 8:20 p.m., on Friday, May 22nd by honking horns, banging pots, or singing out loud in celebration and support of our graduates. Dated this 12th day of May 2020, Downers Grove, Illinois. Item 4 on our agenda tonight is minutes of previous council meetings. Is there a motion concerning previous minutes?
Mayor, I move that the council adopt the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion to approve the previous council minutes is made by Commissioner Jose and seconded by Commissioner Earl. Questions and comments? We're going to start going through the roll again. Greg, do you have any?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Marge?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Cavanaugh?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Rich?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Leslie?
Nope, thank you, Mayor.
Nicole?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you all. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus?
Aye.
Mayor Barnett?
Aye. That motion passes unanimously. Thank you. It takes us to our consent agenda for this evening. Is there a motion concerning the consent agenda?
Mayor, I move that the council adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda is made by Commissioner Jose and seconded by Commissioner Earl. Questions and comments from the council? Greg?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Marge?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Cavanaugh?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Rich?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Leslie?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Nicole?
No, Mayor, thank you.
We had one comment brought in through our e-remarks system concerning consent agenda item D. The comment says we should charge the building fee to the township. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus?
Aye.
Mayor Barnett?
Aye. That passes unanimously as well. Takes us on to our active agenda tonight. We have one item on the active agenda tonight. Is there a motion concerning ordinance 5785?
Mayor, I move that the council adopt an ordinance providing for emergency orders regarding liquor and massage licensing and temporary use permit provisions as presented. Unless I just got that backwards, I apologize.
You did. You want to try? Let's try that
I clicked
again.
the wrong item. I'd like to withdraw that motion. And I will move to adopt an ordinance repealing ordinance number 5785 and amending the rates charged for water as presented.
That I can second.
Thank you both for that. We had one question, I believe, on this. Mike, did you have that somewhere?
Yes, a resident submitted a comment indicating that he supports water rates remaining frozen.
Thank you for that. Questions or comments from the council? Greg?
No, Mayor.
Marge?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Cavanaugh?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Rich?
No comments, thank you.
Leslie?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Nicole?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you all. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus? Aye. Mayor Burnett?
Aye, that motion passes unanimously. It takes us to our second item on the active agenda. Is there a motion concerning emergency orders?
Let's try this again. Mayor, I move that the council adopt an ordinance providing for emergency orders regarding liquor and massage licensing and temporary use permit provisions as presented.
Second.
We had no comments on this item from the e-remark system or inbound emails. Are there any questions or comments from the council? Greg?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Marge?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Cavanaugh?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Rich?
No, Mayor, thanks.
Leslie?
No, Mayor, thanks.
Nicole?
No, Mayor, thank you.
The only comment I have is just a reminder for everybody watching at home that these are all available in much more detail on our website through links. This agenda is posted on our website under this week's meetings, kind of the lower left-hand corner. You'll find the agenda tonight as well as live links to each of these items with the supporting detail. Should have mentioned that earlier. Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus? Aye. Mayor Burnett?
Aye, that too passes unanimously. Thank you all. That ends our active agenda tonight. We have no items for first reading this evening. Is there a manager's report?
Yes, really quick, Mayor and Council. We've done a great job as a village council team operating under this meeting format for the last couple of meetings. It's served us very well. However, beginning in June, we are planning for some in-person village council meetings, which of course will be modified to comply with CDC and Illinois Department of Public Health guidance. So I envision a meeting scenario where the council is all together and will make modified public comment available at that time. The reason for this change is we do have some substantive items for village council consideration coming up in June, including the beginnings of our long-range planning efforts, which will, of course, address many of the issues we're dealing with right now. There will probably also be some zoning petitions in front of the council in June. So with our modified schedule, we anticipate that this is our last meeting in May, and we'll pick it up in June with the further modified meeting format. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Dave. I don't know about my colleagues, but frankly, I'm looking forward to that. If we can find a way to do that consistent with the health directions that we're given and the best practices that are out there from the CDC, I'm really looking forward to it. The work we do is just a lot better when we do it together. So, thank you. This takes us to the point of our meeting where we have mayor and council member reports. This is an opportunity for council members to report on things that are on their mind or that others in the community they think should know about. So we'll continue to walk down the list. Greg, do you have anything for us this evening?
I do, Mayor. Thank you. We just wanted to remind folks that even though we issued the proclamation, or the mayor did last week, that it's actually this week that is Police Week. And I want to say thank you to the brave Downers Grove police officers who put their lives on the line each day to keep our village safe, and say thank you to all those in law enforcement who serve their communities as well. It's never been an easy job, but all you have to do is turn on the television to see mask-free protesters screaming in the face of police officers who are simply doing their job, to know that they face new and different risks in this age of COVID-19. Whether it's Police Week or not, I hope images like that give everyone pause. We've seen even more disturbing images in and around our state, with protesters holding signs bearing swastikas or quoting the sign over Auschwitz, the reappearance of Confederate flags, and protesters bearing rifles and flak jackets, as if arming yourself creates immunity to the virus. This desire to not simply disagree, but to demonize, to create not a discussion but an argument, to cast someone as an undesirable other, is entirely unacceptable. To call these times unique or unprecedented is by now an understatement. And we need to remember that we share not just a village, but a community, not just a common dwelling, but common goals, a safe return to normalcy. There are plenty of policy decisions on all levels, federal, state, and local, to debate endlessly. Let us all do it in a safe and civilized manner. And I want to thank everybody out there who has done just that. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Greg. That was well said and entirely appropriate. Thank you for that. Marge, do you have anything this evening?
Yeah, just a quick thought, Mayor, especially with what Commissioner Jose just said. The uptick in frustration is palpable. We're all seeing it. But however this turns out, we're all going there together, and it would be good if everyone could just kind of give their fellow man a little bit of a break, show a little bit of grace. Everybody may not be doing things the way you want them to be done, and you may think it's better, or somebody else may think it's better. Maybe it's somewhere in between those two extremes that's better. It's hard to know. The point is however we get there, we're all going to go together, and it would be easier if we stopped pointing fingers and name calling. That's not going to help the situation. And if you've got something productive to help us along trying to figure this out, please, if you've got an idea on how we could help businesses to open more quickly, by all means, send us an email, contact us by phone, whatever you can do to reach out. We're here and willing to listen and help to the best of our abilities, and know that we share your frustrations personally and on a village-wide level. And I'm looking forward to actually being back in the council chambers in June. So hopefully we'll see you all then. Thanks.
Thank you, Marge. Wise words for everybody to be listening to. Appreciate that. Cavanaugh, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, Mayor, real quick. I just wanted to personally thank an individual, not to call them out by name, but they are an employee of the Village of Downers Grove. I think during this period, during this season, it's hard to imagine or really see how much work is actually going on behind the scenes when we're all kind of sheltering in place and doing our own thing. And today was just a reminder of, again, how well run the Village of Downers Grove is, because our people are working. They're working on behalf of their residents. And just again, a reminder that even though we don't see it, our villages are working hard for all of us. So that's it. Thank you to that employee.
Thank you, Cavanaugh. Rich, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, I have a few comments. First of all, thank you to our residents for continuing to persevere in following the guidelines. Thank you to our village staff for continuing your work under difficult circumstances. And a big thank you to our businesses who are really struggling and trying to persevere. For those of you who know me, may follow me on Facebook. I'm sort of a data-driven individual, so I post a lot of the data that I think is most useful. I was intrigued by the amount of the business that may be down for the restaurants in Downers Grove, so I actually called 6 of them And I think there's this notion that because these restaurants that are not normally open for carryout are doing really well, so I decided to call the owners and talk to them directly. The first one, their carryout business was down only 12% because that is a big part of their business, but their catering business will actually has been totally diminished. Their business will be down 60% this year. The next one I talked to was down 60%. The third one was 70%. The fourth one was 80%. The fifth one was 70 to 75%, and the fifth one is down 80%. So really encourage people at Downers Grove to keep frequenting these restaurants. Many of them may not survive for too much longer because they've burned through their cash reserves. So anything we can do to support them would be really helpful. And to a person, they all really appreciated that Downers Grove and surrounding residents are placing their orders with them, that every order really helps. And those are the end of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate you pointing that out and doing a little digging there for us. Leslie, you have anything this evening?
I do, thank you. First, thank you to our Downers Grove Police Department for all they do for our village. We really do appreciate the fact that you not only consistently seek to enforce our laws, but also to build community. And for that, we are truly grateful. I also want to point out that it is National Hospital Week. So let's please also thank our hospital healthcare workers who are putting their lives on the line every day. We have lost some of those healthcare workers in our region, unfortunately, and we mourn all those lives lost. And as always, I appreciate everyone complying with the orders. I know that it feels frustrating as time goes on. Trying to work at home with a wild 4-year-old is no fun for me, but it is a delicate balance between public health and strain on people's well-being, both financially and emotionally. What is unwritten that no one really wants to talk about is that determining when to reopen is essentially coming up with a rate of illness or death that is somehow acceptable to us. And that's a real tough pill to swallow. It's a determination that I'm grateful I don't have to make. But my ask is that regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, that you will respect and at least find some empathy to any of the elected officials or public health experts who are part of that decision-making process. Because again, it's just a truly difficult place to be. Many of us want more answers and more clarity on that process, and those are incredibly fair and understandable requests. And they're requests that deserve answers. But please keep in mind that this is a virus unlike any the medical professionals have ever seen, and we still do not have anywhere near a firm grasp on how this virus progresses through the body or how it is spreading through the population. So as hard as it is, if you can, please continue to stay home and stay safe until our public health recommendations advance on the issue. I still look forward to June when council can meet again in person, and even more so beyond when we can engage face-to-face with residents. So please just continue to give each other grace and empathy, support our local businesses as best you can, and just always be kind. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Leslie. Nicole, do you have anything tonight?
I do. You know, there's always a lot of repetition when you're last, Mayor, so I apologize. I just want to encourage everyone to continue to help support our local businesses as much as you are able. And in that process, like some other people have said tonight, please show some patience, some kindness, and cut these businesses some slack. Many of them are not operating in a manner that they were set up to. In that same vein, please make sure that you're showing kindness and understanding with others, even those who may not share your own opinions and views. And lastly, just a big thank you to our Downers Grove Police Department. The challenges they face in today's environment only bring to light the incredible job that they're called to do. Please keep looking out for each other and be safe and be well. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Nicole. Nicole was right. It's hard to go last and not just sound repetitive, and so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is remind everybody that these messages you just heard from your village council, your village council represents you, and there's a diverse cross-section of folks here, but every one of them is pulling in the same direction to try and help our community get through this thing. And through this thing is something we don't know what that means. We don't really know what through this means. We don't know what the other end of it looks like. So the important parts are frankly what my colleagues were just talking about, which has to do with how we treat each other and how happy we are to be members of Downers Grove whenever we're at the other side. So please listen to what they're saying. You got a good council that's giving out some good advice. Please heed that advice. I have one order of business tonight. There is a process that has to do with the liquor commissioner. So there's some materials to be placed on file, which is sort of a formal reading into the record of a position. We have a liquor license application received for a Class R1 full liquor on-premise consumption liquor license from Brinker Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Chili's Bar and Grill, located at 1330A West 75th Street. Pursuant to Section 3-12 of the Liquor Control Ordinance, a public hearing for a liquor license application may be waived. The application may be placed on file for a minimum of 2 weeks, subject to the public comment prior to the issuance of the new license. So at this time, I'm placing this application on file in the village clerk's office. Barring any objection, once the 2-week waiting period has passed, a liquor license shall be issued to Brinker Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Chili's Bar and Grill, located at 1330A West 75th Street, placed on file Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. This last section of our meeting tonight is public comments. We've moved this to the end in an effort to accommodate any comments and questions that might come in through the course of the meeting. We have a couple of e-remarks which I'll touch on. Mike, has anything come in through the course of the meeting?
No, Mayor, we did not receive any additional comments.
Thank you. We had 3 e-remarks. I'm going to summarize them in saying that they all are questioning where the village stands relative to this opening that seems to be eluding everybody. There's questions about DuPage mayors and managers and what the village may or may not be doing. So I'm just going to, without getting into each one in detail, there's kind of a rough, broad stroke that can be applied here that I think is important. The stay-at-home order is an executive order issued by Governor Pritzker, and it applies to the entire state of Illinois. The Village of Downers Grove, like all other Illinois municipalities, does not have the authority to lift or amend the stay-at-home order. Further, the village will not direct anyone to act in ways inconsistent with the order. The Village of Downers Grove is committed to promoting and protecting both the physical and economic well-being of our residents and businesses. To that end, we are participating in a countywide effort led by the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, Choose DuPage, which is the economic development agency for the county, and the DuPage County Health Department, preparing recommendations for the governor to consider further modifying the order and the Restore Illinois plan to safely reopen our local and regional economy. This effort will result in the publication of a Reopen DuPage plan, which will be presented to Governor Pritzker soon. We encourage everyone to continue to voluntarily comply with the governor's order. And since the authority to enact and modify the stay-at-home order rests entirely with the governor, this village stands ready to work cooperatively with Governor Pritzker as he considers next steps. And so with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Megan, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jose?
Aye.
Commissioner Earl?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Kulovany?
Aye.
Commissioner Sadowski-Fugitt? Aye. Commissioner Walus? Aye. Mayor Burnett?
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Take care.